I'm getting like a really like vomity feeling. I feel like I want to vomit because I'm like, oh my God, I can't imagine.
Lights, camera, action.
She saw a goat sitting in a rocking chair, cross-legged, like a human.
You fall asleep in the movie, you wake up, everyone's gone.
Look up, and there is this thing. The wingspan covered a lot of the camper.
That was the greatest night in the history of television.
Oh my God, that's close.
I
haven't had this something this big and black towards my face in a while. Sorry. And blue, I guess.
Same.
Just kidding. I'm sorry.
No, that's the energy we like here.
That's how we do it, man.
That's the Red Band way.
That's
No.
Feeding in, huh?
You're right on track.
Dang, look at that.
That's cool, yeah?
right.
It's fucking dope.
Made it myself, no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Just
Gosh.
a logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I drew it by hand. No, I didn't.
Well, I'm sure anything you do on the computer's also sick.
It's easier.
Yeah.
But sick.
Yeah.
Also, still impressive.
Thank you.
Impressive.
Thank you so much. Welcome back.
We started.
We started.
We're on.
We're rolling.
I mean, oopsie.
And this is week 1 of our Red Band Octoberfest with spooky stuff, creepy stuff, Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
All that goodies. We have a guest
We have a guest.
right here.
I'm Riley.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
There's a
you gonna
first
introduce
timer.
me?
He's a big Marvel fan, as you can tell from the shirt.
Yeah.
Huge.
It's the Spider-Man motion right there. Yeah, exactly. The multiverse Spider-Man. And yeah, he's on here to talk about several creepy things. Couple creepy things. Yeah, it'll send some shivers down your spine. Tingly winglies.
Hello.
And what a great way to start off this Oktoberfest with a bang.
Yeah.
Because he will talk about an experience that supposedly we shared. I have no recollection of it, which is also very creepy.
Yeah.
And then an encounter he had with a is a mythical creature. Mothman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A real encounter he had with Mothman. Wow, I'm excited.
I know.
So
I feel like people are going to think I'm lying.
probably.
I'm terrified of it.
I mean, you should see the hate comments we get on everyday stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
Just on normal things.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
A little bit.
You could be
no.
you could be like, man, I hate when you sneeze multiple times in a row, and someone will be like, you're a bitch. Fucking sneezing's easy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Look at this guy. Oh, he
I
would
mean, they're
sneeze.
right, though. They're right, though.
Yeah, right. 100% right. So, I just want to get right into it.
Yeah.
Because this is the stuff that excites us.
We're
for
jumping
sure.
in.
Horns in the sky.
Horns.
With diamonds.
Horns in the sky
horns in
with
the sky
diamonds.
with
The famous Beatles song. I don't know what they're called really, other than some have called them like angel horns,
Right,
mysterious horns.
Yeah, like the trumpets of the signaling of Judgment Day.
yeah, something
Right.
like that.
Which spooked me a little bit when I heard it.
That makes it worse.
Yeah.
That
makes
does
it-
make it
you're like,
worse.
oh,
That
this
means
is
something,
worse.
yeah.
Fate's happening. Destiny.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Like
That's not good.
I got class in the morning.
Yeah.
Also, that would be rough because then you're just like, I guess Christianity's right. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like,
Damn.
then that's kind of a tough one
Oh,
too.
man.
Oh, that's hard. Yeah. So yeah, these horns have been heard around the world, everywhere, just randomly, really loud, blaring horns. And I guess we heard them here. And I guess we heard them when we were hanging out. And I was wiped of that memory. I don't remember that at all. But supposedly I was there. I mean, tell us about that because I have no idea.
Well, I think the worst part is that, once this happened to me or us, I guess, people were like, oh, this happens all around the world. And then you check out YouTube videos and you're like, okay, maybe it was just like, I'm freaking out. And I'm like, you go on YouTube and there's hundreds of videos and you find out it sounds the exact same.
So when you went on YouTube and you watched it and you were like, that's exactly what
That is
I
the sound.
experienced.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's videos of like birds like flying out of trees after to this noise. You know, it's filling like stadiums, and you're like, so it wasn't just me, and that's terrifying. It makes it feel a lot worse.
Right.
It's like the equivalent of going on WebMD when you feel something weird. You just go on YouTube and like type in angel horns or whatever, and then you find a bunch of videos of people in Guam, and they're like, you know, whatever.
And they're like, it's cancer.
Yeah.
Like, you have cancer.
Yeah, right. Right after the video, it's like, here's a link.
The sound is just, you have cancer now.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no. Yeah, so basically the way it went down, I mean, it was just a normal day on campus for us. All four of us. We had two other friends walking, I think, to get some food. And walking through the dorms, we were just, you know, outside, and it was all of a sudden three of us stop, and we're kind of looking up at the sky thinking, oh, is UNM testing like the sirens that they do, you know, test sirens.
Yeah.
We all thought it was that. And you know, you get an alert on your phone, so that way it tells you if it happens or not. And it wasn't. And all of a sudden we're just in trance. We're just staring up at the sky, like looking around, because it wasn't just me that was hearing it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard it at one point.
I had, if I was with you guys, I had to have.
Yeah, because Corey and Armando were hearing it too, and I guess we could verify with them. But I still remember it very vividly because it was, I can't even describe the tone, because it you know, it sounded man-made, but it also sounded like godly.
Let's see. Elijah, do you want to pull it up?
Yeah,
let's
on YouTube? Pull up one of those. So
Love
I
it.
guess
We could play it.
Wondering one thing. Was it like night or daytime?
Nighttime.
Okay, so it was
It was
nighttime.
like, yeah, it was like 9 p.m. Very, very dark.
What's interesting to me about this is like, this is at UNM's campus, and it's like, you know, so that would mean potentially that you could hear that across the Albuquerque metro area.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, on that day, like, did other people hear it? Like, did anyone? I don't know, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't any news articles about it. I'm sure it was like, I don't know how long it was, but it seemed blink of an eye. You know?
Right.
It was like, it was on and then it was done. But more so probably because it was like, what the fuck is going on? As opposed to it being like on and off. It was like mystifying.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think I got me one here. Let's see. Why is there a baseball game on that? Let's.
Oh, because it happened during a baseball game.
Yeah.
Live
Yeah.
game.
First inning. That's a haunting sound, if we've ever heard one. 1 ball, no strikes. And the bunt is foul. The count is 1-1.
Now, what could that possibly be? Somebody shut the door.
It sounds supernatural.
I'm gonna find one that's. I can hear it, but
You can, yeah. It's very.
What the heck? I don't think that's coming from the warehouse. That's really weird.
I don't think that's coming from the warehouse, she says.
There's different iterations. I know a lot of people like that sound right there. They were saying, "Oh, that's like the gates of heaven opening." They're like, "That's what it sounds like. It sounds like whatever angel that is opening up the gates of heaven."
That's terrifying.
And
The
that scares
angel,
me.
Michael.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
I sent you the video.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, that is terrifying. So please continue. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like there's not. You know, like it's hard to explain it unless
Right.
you've been there, because it's like you've seen it there. I feel like a video doesn't even do justice.
Right, no.
Where it's just like it's this so bizarrely, it's totally out of your control.
Right.
You know, something like a bus can't be screeching for that long, that loud, or
That
like
loud.
vibrating your feet kind of thing. Where it's like, no, this is real, and I don't know what it is.
And it also wasn't like an alert horn, like for
No.
tornadoes or disasters or anything like that. Like,
yeah, because you know, I lived on campus for I think 3 years, and I would hear every time they would do a test.
yeah,
Very clearly, you know, it was like, hey, they text you, sirens going off at this time. Totally different sound. Totally different sound. You know, sirens, tornado warnings, yeah, and then something else,
yeah.
something weird.
And I will definitely play like a few of the clips like here, but it's not like anything you've heard, at least from those videos. And so it's like, it's very, and he's right. It's hard to capture on camera what something really feels like a sound like that big,
Right.
where you're like, I know this isn't just in this area. This is like huge.
Yeah, because it's filling your eardrums, and then it's filling the space. It's vibrating off of all of these concrete buildings. It's vibrating from the field, like, you know, 100 yards away. It's filling this entire space that just feels wrong, fucking wrong. It does
Yeah.
not feel good.
And yeah, the worst part about that is then going on YouTube and hearing the same exact sound all over different parts of the world.
Yeah, because and then you go on Reddit, and people are like, "What the fuck? I'm in Brazil.
Yeah.
This is weird. Why is this happening? These two things shouldn't be the same."
Right. Yeah.
Or, you know, I'm in New York, I'm in Paris, you know, wherever, and it's like it's very uncomforting.
Is there like a scientist somewhere who can offer any sort of attempt at an explanation that would be like, oh, that happens on this rare occasion when two icebergs rub against each other and like a
Right.
solar flare bursts in an omega fashion? Like, I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, when I just YouTubed it just now, there was a video that was like explanation for the sound, and it looked like it came from one of those YouTube channels that, you know, is kind of like goofy, cartoony science.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where they draw on a whiteboard.
Yeah, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'll look it up, because
Yeah.
if they can explain why I've gone crazy
Yeah.
over it,
It would bring some
help.
comfort.
yeah,
Absolutely.
sure.
yeah.
Well, and so what did we do after that?
We went to get food.
We were just like, that was weird.
Wow, whoa, crazy. And then I think we asked people around, like, "Hey, did
Yeah.
you hear that?" I don't think anybody else heard it.
No?
No.
That's
That's
interesting.
wild.
I think somebody was indoors at the time, and then I don't think we really saw anybody else going up to get food and then coming back. So it was just us, as far as I saw, and nobody indoors heard it apparently. So
Yeah.
That's odd.
That is wild.
That's
right, because you would hear, if it were a siren of some sort, you'd be able to hear it indoors.
I would think. Yeah.
So, and they heard no noise. I don't know. Weird.
that makes
weird.
it weird too. What year was this?
We were freshmen.
So,
so
like 2014.
Oh
maybe?
yeah, it's been a whole last minute.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a while.
I was just wondering. I remember during the pandemic, at least twice. Swear. Feel like I heard a loud explosion somewhere.
Yeah.
You guys ever have that one?
I definitely hear like loud bangs a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it sounds like someone hits a big dumpster really hard or like a bat or something, but like louder, like that amplified.
Yeah, one time I had that, and I guess I did live by the Air Force Base, and I remember it was at least June 2020, you know, right after the pandemic, and I feel like, the sort of explosion that did kind of shake the apartment a little, just a little, and you know, I jumped right in on my phone, looked at any like Facebook group or
Twitter
neighborhood app that someone might be like, "Hey, did you guys hear that? What the fuck?"
Right.
And nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't even know, man. That's weird. But so With that kind of sound, it feels like there could be an alien type of twist to that, maybe, right?
Could be.
We do live live next to a military base.
Yeah.
Which is, obviously very well funded.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. I wouldn't say no.
Sure.
I know a lot of people can't tell me what they do for like basic jobs, so they're very hush hush about everything. So, my friend is a mechanical engineer. He can't tell me what he does.
Right.
And he works with like energy. So it's like, what
Damn.
can't you tell me? I mean,
Right.
it's just energy, right?
Right.
And my partner is hard of hearing. So anytime there's a noise, it's more so up to me to be like, okay, no quote unquote gunshots ensued. I think we're good. I think it was just a firework, or they, hit their target.
Right.
So I don't know. But I think we're good.
So-
It's kind of that.
You didn't know her at the time, but like you've talked to her about this, I'm sure. Has she ever said like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing something like that."
In terms of what?
Like, has she ever been like, "Oh, I've heard a sound like that"? Yeah.
Oh,
Like that horns sound.
I don't think so.
Or is she like, Riley?
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that a lot, and I don't think she has.
Man.
Yeah, I feel like she would have told me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I tell her the same 6 stories over and over and over and over and over again, and I'm sure at one point she would have told me.
Yeah.
So she hasn't,
Okay.
as far as I know.
It's just like a deep suppressed memory for her, and she's like,
That's what I'm saying. That's what it is for you.
Yeah, it is
but
what it is for you.
It's
I really do have like a really good memory, I would say, for the most part.
Yeah.
Like I'll remember stuff that people are like, but like not even big events. I'll remember small, intimate, like, oh, I remember that night and we didn't do anything special, but I remember it. Mm-hmm. But so the fact that this escapes me is extra scary. It's an extra layer of creepy on top of
It
it.
doesn't make me feel better.
Yeah. Like I don't remember who was there, what we did before, during, after. Like that night's just gone.
Yeah, I remember Corey was wearing a gray shirt, but I don't know
See?
if that's because he always wears gray shirts, or if he was wearing a gray shirt. And I specifically remember because I needed to, take
Yeah.
a mental picture, like Pam does.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. It kind of it freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey everyone. Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. No, I'm not here to talk about SeatGeek. Just wanted to let you know that Elijah and I's microphones once again did something weird where it stopped recording in the middle of this episode. But luckily our guest Riley's came through the entire time. So the remainder of this episode will be kind of a montage of him talking about his Mothman encounter, weird stuff that his mom and brother have both experienced. But you won't really hear much of me and Elijah. That's okay. You're probably tired of hearing us anyway. So sit back, relax, get under the covers. We're going to set the mood with a fireplace sound, the whole thing, get some atmosphere. Let's get spooky.
Like we were at it. I guess like a small house that was surrounded by fields. It was so north. It was off the beaten path, and we're so far away where literally anything could happen. The hills have eyes, kind of thing. We were out there. There's barely Wi-Fi out there. But somehow we could get the basketball game. It was the 2016 Olympics. USA was playing Paris, I believe. So we have a timeline, definite timeline. I vividly remember that because we wanted to watch. It was a normal camping experience where it was glamping more so because there was there was the big house on the side, and then they had an RV, which is where 4 of us stayed at. And from the RV to the house was about 20 yards, but there was some obstacles in the way. You had to kind of it wasn't a straight line. So we're by the campfire, just kind of hanging out, relaxing and just talking about stuff, whatever, normal camping stuff. So then our friends go to the house, who's staying in the house. And we follow them, kind of, chit-chat a little bit, get some drinks before we go back to the RV. As soon as we kind of get out of the house, we all start walking, you know, and it's 1 a.m. It's dark. There's literally no light except for the moon. We had to use our phones to like flash lights on. There's zero lights on top of the camper. You know, like there's nothing for it to hit off of. One of our friends stops and he goes, "Do you guys see that?" And we're like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Look up." And so we look up, and there is a light hitting this thing that have wings the size of, I can only describe as like the Jeepers Creepers guy. He has wings like that size. It's huge. Wingspan, literal wingspan is 9 feet. And perspective probably doesn't really play a huge part in this, but the wingspan covered a lot of the camper. A lot. And I'm not upset that I didn't get a better view, because we were so fucking fast in that camper. There was 4 of us. And I mean, but you know, it's a camper, you know, so you have to, you know, I've only been in a few where you have to like open the screen door, like pinching something, and then you open the door, and then to close it, you have to pinch the thing again. And it's like 4 of us sprint to the camper. We're like, you know, open the fucking door, what the fuck is that? Like, and finally we get the door open, we slam the door shut, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, 4 of us just like grabbed knives. And I'm like, yo, you check the fucking back window, check the front door, check the side window. Like, we're like looking, and then all of a sudden we just hear a whack, and it flies off. I assume flies off the camper. Again, people would discredit us and, oh, it was probably just an owl. Which I'm like, sure, owls are nocturnal, but 4 dudes who are early 20s don't grab 4 knives to protect themselves from an owl. Yeah, exactly. If we want to like kind of go off base real quick to another spooky thing, which I guess it's not off base. One time I was very curious about the Illuminati. So I was like, man, you know, Illuminati's like fake, whatever. And so I talked to my brother about it, and he was like, hey man, just don't look into it. It's weird. Just don't look into it. And my brother doesn't usually do that. He's just kind of like a do your own thing kind of guy. So that was like, oh, double the intrigue. Oh yeah. So for about 45 minutes to an hour, you know, I just started throwing YouTube videos on. Cool. And, you know, it's talking about like weird Rihanna poses that form, you know, the devil or something, and then how you rewind Eminem's lyrics or something, or you play it at a certain speed or whatever. It like, yeah, it's like weird satanic shit, right? And it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, so it was like at nighttime, and then I'm watching these videos. Probably about an hour later, my brother comes into my bedroom. He's like, why are you watching these videos? I was like, what do you mean? I'm just like checking it out. Like, what's it about? And he's like, I'm not joking. I need you to stop right now. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I need you to stop right now. Because when I did this, weird shit started happening to me. Weird shit. I was like what? Tell me about it. Yeah. And he's like, can't, won't. See you later. Turn it off. That's it. I like that. So I was like, all right, well, cool. Turn it off. Done. I'm out. Never thought about it again until now. Yeah. So that's weird shit. He likes to draw in, I guess, negative spirits to a sense. Maybe he's just looking after them. Because where my mother is born, she's born in Guam, and they have something called, I believe, the Taotaomo'na, which is like spirits that live in a forest. They protect you, or they could harm you. depending on how they see you. My mom told me it is literally just chance of what they do. If they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. That's it. So my sister and I believed that we had protectors, because nothing really bad had ever happened to us. Nothing like spooky or strange or, whatever. But after my mom had told us a story about her encounter with them when she was about 20, I would say, she, my brother, he was like 12, so he was like starting to be a grown-up. So he's like, oh, fuck them, they're little fucking bitches. Oh, like that shit's weak, man. Come on, like, you serious? Like, nah, fuck them. And my brother just hadn't really ever had good luck with stuff like that. So, he's talking all of this trash about these spirits, which I don't know why you would do. And so we all go to bed that night, and the next day he wakes up and he tells me, he's like, hey, I have a weird scratch on my arm. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I have a scratch on my arm. And I was like, okay, let me see it. And it was about 2 or 3 inches long. And it was like if your cat had dragged its nail on you for about 2 or 3 inches. Like, and it was fresh, you could tell the color was like bright, and it was like, what the fuck? Because we didn't have any cats. We had dogs, but they slept outside when it was, so it was like really weird, really strange. And then I think a week later he like tripped and almost broke his head. Yeah, it was like back to back. It was like really weird, and you're like, okay. And I only remember this because my sister was like, well, maybe you shouldn't have talked shit about the Taotaomo'na. And you're like, oh, yeah, it'll definitely teach you. Because I'm pretty sure he never spoke about it again, and neither did we, because, my mother had a very real encounter with them at the same time, where when she lived in Guam, she would do PT exercises for the Army. And one day they were doing a run, or she might have been running by herself. She ended up in the forest, kind of, I guess, just spaced where she was, and all of a sudden she was there. And she didn't really understand where she was or why she was there, but she just started wandering around and like very, very confused. And then she's walking, trying to get out, and all of a sudden she just starts hearing voices from people she knows is alive, people she knows that's dead. And she's following them, kind of like, not really following them, like kind of getting pulled both ways, like, what is that? What, I shouldn't mess with that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, from behind her, she hears her mom. She's like, I know that's my mom's voice. I should go to that voice. So she just turns around, straight back, and it was like a blink of an eye. She's out of the forest. And she said she was in there for about 5 or 6 hours. And then she turned around and she was right outside. Felt like minutes. She only ever told me this story once, because and it took a while for her to, like, open up about it. And it's like something obviously very real, and like if she probably felt very vulnerable, which why she never wants to tell the story, because I'm sure going back to that would just fuck with you. And those are the same spirits that that fucked with my brother. I don't like it because it's both my mom and dad are essentially from Guam. My dad's from the Philippines, but it's like, God, that's in my history. you know, that's in my DNA. And that is terrifying to me, you know, because that's like first generation, you know. I have somebody who experienced it directly, where it's so real because I trust them, and they would never lie to me about something so stupid. Don't look it up. Don't do it. Don't look it up, because it's I even begrudgingly like looked up the name because I couldn't even remember the name, and I was like, oh god, you know. And then all these moments, all these ideas, these memories just start flooding back, and you're like, oh my god. Or if you do, you know, just be like, hey, these are nice spirits. I've heard them from a friend he's on a good first name basis with them. We're cool, you know, because, you know, I speak positively of them, because yeah, exactly, they're not doing anything wrong to me. Like, it's all right. It happened to my brother, and he can be a bad guy sometimes. So, you know, but I'm good. We're cool.
And that will do it for episode 1 of Red Band's Octoberfest. Thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to tune in next week for another October-themed spooky episode. And be sure to like, share, subscribe. And if you've experienced anything of the paranormal realm, anything extraterrestrial, anything mythical, anything just bigger than you that's hard to explain, we want to hear from you. We want to hear about it. We want to have you on the show, either physically in person or have you call in during the month of October. So message us and let us know. Till next week, take care and stay spooky. See ya.